Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, who's got that voice? You got a really nice voice.
Do I?
Yeah,
It's gonna go to his head.
It
You
does.
can't compliment him too much.
Well, we want to say what's on our mind, right? And I think you got a very nice voice.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready, man.
You
Okay.
think-
Well,
Introduce. Who's our guest?
with Bill and Belden.
Hey, Bill.
Belden from Bing Bros.
Yep.
And Bill, the battery Bill.
Yep.
The guy.
The guy himself.
That's the guy.
That's the guy himself.
Oh, hi. I'm Battery Bill.
If you've seen the commercial like 10 years ago, it's probably stuck in your head.
I think we're still playing the commercial. Why 10 years ago?
It's still stuck in my head.
Yeah, that's when it was really popular, right?
So is that you who sings it, by the way?
No. Let me tell the story.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this guy named Audie Kimura came into my story. He's the guy who actually wrote it. He's an old guy, just like me. He has been at High Steakhouse like forever. He just retired a couple years ago. But the guy who sings the song, and you're asking, is a guy named Mel Kabang. Mel Kabang is a famous comedian. Unfortunately, he went to jail because I guess he was caught gambling.
Oh.
Oh, man.
But seriously, he is, as far as a person goes, he's like the nicest guy you've ever met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That
Yeah.
is fortunate.
Well, do you know when he's out?
I'm sorry, he passed away about
did
3
he?
years ago. So
Oh.
when we really loved this guy, I mean,
Yeah.
he was fabulous.
And he was the guy in the commercial, right? The bald guy that is singing and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very funny in that commercial.
That is very funny.
I know. I was joking with Will. I'm like, oh, we should remake the Battery Bill commercial, but like a modern version of it.
You cannot remake the Battery Bill commercial. You'd be. We talked about that. You know, one of our friends, Augie. You know, Augie T.
Oh, yeah, Aggie T.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this guy? He's pretty
Absolutely.
famous too.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, and we were talking about making a remake of the commercial. But I started talking to some of Mel Kabang's friends.
Yeah.
and they thought it was really in bad taste. Could be kind of it would make I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel
Because
Kabang
smirching
kinda-
his name.
I don't like
Turn
when they
his
do
grade a
that
little
with
bit.
like Star Wars and stuff. They take the Princess Leia, she passed away, and they CGI her. It's-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
like
thought you were
too-
talking about all the remake movies that...
Yeah, that in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so surprised walking in. You have tons of Star Wars like merch and posters and stuff. It was really cool.
I would not expect the inside of this
Yeah,
world
that's
to look like this from the outside.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Don't tell everybody about this, but realistically, I'm not that much of a Star Wars fan. Yes, I did grow up with Star Wars when I was young, and Star Trek, because this is
Yeah.
a Star Trek room. But it just started with 3 pictures, and I put them up, and all my friends who came in here just thought I actually was a collector. And so they just started giving me stuff. And so you see over here on the wall, just the Star Trek stuff. You know, I have friends like Bart Da Silva. He gave me all his vinyl. He's like one of the biggest collectors of vinyl. So he gave me some old, Star Trek stuff.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And then I got some magazines. And if you go to the Star Wars hallway, I mean, that thing is just loaded with Star Wars stuff. And people gave me stuff. And you know what's weird? They give you stuff, but it costs you money when they give you stuff. You know why?
Why?
Because then you have to build something. For example, I have a big TIE fighter in the hallway. It's like about 18 inches by 18, well, maybe bigger than that, 24 inches by 24 inches. But to show it, you can't just leave it there in the middle of the hallway. You have to build an opening in the wall, and which costs like $1,000 to do, just to show this $500.
That is an act of terrorism.
It's like every time you get something from a friend, it's like, oh, damn it. Like,
So
drill a hole in the wall.
do you think it's good enough to charge admission here for people to come and see the Battery Bill Bat Cave?
I mean,
I think you should play movies here and charge admission for that.
Yeah.
Star Wars marathon or something like that.
is this this is where like your workers like a break room?
No,
or
this is my office.
Oh,
So this is
wow.
you the lights are on now.
Yeah.
But when nobody's here, I turn the lights down, and I have music in here.
Nice.
And I kind of, believe it or not, if this wasn't a vinyl floor or a hard floor, you would see a track, because I walk around and I brainstorm and I look for all my ideas, and this is how we kind of change
I like
our
that.
business.
I like
This is like my
There-
private space.
Yeah, there's like a correlation with ideas and like walking. I feel like when I'm writing, I'm like just walking down the street in the middle of the night, coming up with stuff. Like it's weird how that.
I agree with you totally, but I also would have to add music into there. You
Yes,
have to
yeah,
have some music
absolutely. Yep. Second.
So what do you listen? Oh, sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
Wait, what do you listen?
What do I listen to? It can be anything, but I think the most effective thing is white noise.
Oh.
I mean, you listen to the ocean, you listen
Yeah.
to things like that, just things that don't have any
Night
melody to it
sounds,
necessarily.
yeah.
It just kind of just work with your mind, and all these things just start coming
Yeah.
to you.
I love the croaky frogs on the Big Island. If
The
you've ever heard
croaky.
those.
I hear them all the time. And you're right. But their background noise too, because even though they make a lot of noise, it after a few minutes you don't hear
Yeah,
them.
it's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
So just any kind of ambient noise or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Ambient
Oh, I gotta try
sounds.
that.
Just like the guy who lives next to the freeway, right? He lives in, he might live right over the freeway. And when you first move in there, says, "Oh, how am I going to live through this?" But then after they've lived there for a little while, it's like, "Oh, what noise?"
Yeah, you kind of feng shui the whole
Yeah,
thing,
exactly.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
interesting.
That's so funny.
So what got you into like battery business?
Yeah. What's your origin story?
Are we going to get to something serious here?
Yeah.
But funny thing about it is how I got into the battery business is not funny at all. It's just totally by accident. You want to know the details? You want to make this funny?
Make it. Yeah. Give us the funny, but semi-serious version.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was working for a company, and then shall I mention the company's name I was working for? I was working for Servco, and Servco, I was sent out to this customer who was going to be closing his business. And so when I went there, I found out that they were closing, and I tried to buy the business for the company.
Oh, okay.
And we went through all the things that we had to do, and then found out that they didn't want to do it, and somehow the owners thought that I said that I would do it, which I never did say because I don't have any money.
Yeah.
But anyway, it happened.
Fake
that
it till
way.
you make
so
it.
next thing I knew, long story short, about a month, I ended up buying the company, and then it was kind of like the worst thing I've ever done. When you're working for a company, it's nice and easy.
Right.
I mean, you're guaranteed a paycheck.
Yeah. You don't think about all the.
You don't.
Yeah.
And
So
so when we did this,
Toilet
and
doesn't
we went
work.
on our own, I found out, hey, being a small business owner kind of sucks. It's
Yeah.
very hard.
Amen to
I
that.
I remember I had to do a speech in front of a company. I was at Hawaiian Tel, and I was talking to their employees during the lunch hour, and I was telling them that being a small business owner is like the worst disease ever.
Yeah.
It's the kind of disease that you would wish on your worst enemy.
I say that about directing, by the way. Making a movie is the worst thing you can do.
It's hard.
Yeah.
You don't,
You know-
because you can come to work one day and the competition could happen or the economy could change in such a manner
Yeah.
so that, you don't have a business maybe the next day.
Yeah.
It's that much of a gamble. It is like, who needs to go to Vegas? Every day you go to work, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
That's,
Oh my god.
that's true.
How did you make it? You're like what's your secret? You've been going.
It's ups and downs. And I went down. I mean, I went bankrupt.
Oh,
in
yeah.
2002. We had to start all over. I lost my house and everything.
Oh wow.
And here's the funny part. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but believe it or not, you know how you wish that you were, you are like kind of reborn again, where you wake up and you say, well, if I could start life all over again with all the intelligence that I have over the years, well, I had that opportunity back in 2002. So to start the company that I have now, the battery bills. Believe it or not, I borrowed $3,500 from a friend. $3,500 from a friend, and then we built the business up again to what it is today.
That's insane.
It is insane.
Talk about gambling.
No, but it's gambling. But like I am like the
Wow.
the immigrant picture where you come here with nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
The American dream.
Yeah, exactly. So I am the living.
You were that
American dream.
twice, actually.
No, the other time I bought them and I had some money.
Okay.
This time I had absolutely nothing.
That's crazy. Everyone loves an underdog story, though.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an underdog.
Yeah.
And you guys are not underdogs, right? We're all very polished, accomplished people already.
Yeah.
Given at your ages.
Yeah.
We're working on it. I don't know.
Age
Yeah, we tried it.
I'm like four
Yeah,
times
but
Is that the
your
impression I give off?
age. I'm like 4 times your age. So that means you're gonna be billionaires by the time you're my age, right?
Hey,
I don't know.
I hope
will
so.
see, yeah.
get on it, Belden.
Yeah, building.
I don't know how many bings I need to make before that happens.
You can do it mathematically.
It's gonna be a Bing army.
Oh yeah, Bing Army.
So in other words, you can do enough Bings to go around the world how many times?
Oh god, I don't know how to do the math to that.
So here's the thing with Bing Bros. Every time I look up Bing Bros on Google, it comes out Bang Bros.
Yeah, I already knew that was coming.
Oh my god.
That was unintentional.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was intentionally doing that.
Yeah, I actually wanted to name it Bing Kong so I could make the mascot like a monkey or something. But it was my business partner who decided on Bing Bros.
Why?
I don't know. We're not even brothers. It just like I guess it rolled off the tongue a little better, which I agree with. It's easy to remember.
Yeah.
There's novelty to it because everyone remembers.
Do
it as
you
Bang
get
Bros.
any like funny stuff with Battery Bill? Like, do people ever like talk about like battery, like the crime, or like
Oh.
like
Oh
like
my
what's
God.
some?
No one's ever really brought that up except you.
Oh, really?
I mean, I guess.
Is that creative?
Do you have a dark side?
Do I? No. This guy has the dark side.
Yeah, I do.
bet
So I
you
was on
did
the
for
film
that.
shoot, and it was with the other artist, Yolo Ono. Shout out to Yolo Ono.
Yeah.
Remember what happened?
What?
I smashed like 2 batteries because
Oh,
The
he
light-
dropped his batteries
Yeah.
in the water.
yeah, there's a light fell. So I was putting a battery on the light, and then the light tipped over, and it smashed 2 of my batteries.
Was there any water involved?
Yes,
Because you know what happened with lithium batteries and water, right?
it doesn't work.
No, you get big fires. Possibly.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
That never
that's
happened,
the big
though.
thing. You never put out a lithium fire with water. I mean, yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. But that never happened though, right?
No.
It was just like, oh shoot, the battery's water.
You didn't think about that. You just imagined the. Oh no, I just
Well,
lost
this is
like
what-
$500.
This is why I don't trust him with the camera equipment. So,
Well, I'm getting better at it.
I have a question about so like I get my batteries for like my lithium-ion V mounts. Like I have to take them from the mainland. Like I have to take them on the plane because you can't get them shipped here. Like how do you get around some of those laws for like lithium-ion?
You can get them shipped here. In fact, even Amazon would ship here. But the problem is it's a hassle.
Yeah.
it is.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And so because of the hassle and maybe there might be delays,
Mhm.
I'm thinking that it would be more expensive for one thing.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking that because of delays, can you imagine Amazon saying, well, it's going to be there Thursday, but then it doesn't come on Thursday, maybe
Yeah.
it comes on, 3 or 4 days later, then everybody gets upset.
Right.
And that's, with their customer service rating the way they want it to be,
Right.
they can't afford that.
Oh, that's interesting.
So for me, I do it, but it has to come by boat.
yeah.
And so
Freight it.
automatically, if you want a battery that's going to, a lithium battery from me or that I'm taking care of,
Mhm.
it's going to cost, or not, it's going to take about a month to get here.
Hmm.
And who can wait a month, right?
Yeah, it's true.
But my question is, how do you know like every single battery that existed on Earth?
All you do is listen to the customer and they say, well, do you have this? Do you have this? And you say no. And if you say no about 3 or 4 times, then you say, well, I better get it.
And this is why you've been in business for so long. That's a good business model right there.
That's what we're supposed to be when we sell. We
Mhm.
say, well, always, what do they say? They say to, I can't think. But basically, when the customer needs something, you fill the need of the customer. That's
Right.
all. And that's what you have to. I just basically listen to what your customer needs first. That's all. And you said it right. That's
Yeah.
the business model.
Yeah.
That's a good business model.
Like, do you just like look it up and be like, oh, I have this?
Oh no, we Google it, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's-
Google it.
And that's what you meant. Okay. Well,
I mean, that's what
I'm so old. I was thinking about you look it up in the book. No, we don't do that.
Oh, you don't do that anymore.
Dictionary of batteries.
What's the
How big would the A section of the book be? It's just all the.
We worked out of encyclopedias. You guys don't even know what that, but that was A. So A was this big,
Yeah.
and that was the whole A of the whole world.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
World book A. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So good.
So, Bill, I actually work in logistics. I think I told you before, but we run into a lot of issues dealing with lithium-ion. Like, I know getting it in is trouble enough, but when they're new, they're not as much of a risk as when they're used or DDR dead, defective, and recycled, right?
That is absolutely right.
Yeah. So how do you circumvent all of that stuff? Like, I know they can come in new, but it's either it's impossible to get them out of the island or it's cost prohibitive to get them out. So how do we in Hawaii deal with all of those batteries? Like, are they piling up in a landfill? Is it like a ticking time bomb? Or that's one thing I've always wondered. Or is there like approved recyclers that ships them out of the island and sends them somewhere
That's a good
else?
question.
Yeah, that is a good question.
Okay, so it's a very difficult one. If we're going to get real serious about it, it is a very huge issue. There's no doubt about it. We're an island, right? And the only way to get things on and off the islands is through the boats. I'm going to say, Pasha and Matson are are very key players there. And in reality, they don't want in my opinion, I don't know for sure, but I'm sure it's probably right. They don't want the spent lithium batteries on their ships going back to the mainland or wherever it's going to go, because it can cause fires. And we've seen these fires on air. And and as you said, when the batteries get older, the older they are, the more dangerous they can become. Of course, the batteries are way safer than they were like 10 years ago.
Right.
But we have batteries that have everybody's looking for the reduced power, or the increased power to weight ratio. In other words, something's lighter but more powerful, so that as time goes on, the battery becomes more and more like a bomb.
Oh,
So
really?
so if it's punctured or handled in the wrong manner, there is a bigger chance that it can
That's because
flame
you're
on.
compressing so much power into a little package, right? So remember,
Right.
like 10 years ago, there was a whole thing about the Note 4, I think, that it was blowing up.
Oh,
I think
yeah, I
it-
remember
No, but
that.
that you imagine,
Yeah.
but that battery was only a wafer battery.
Yeah.
I mean, if you
Yeah.
have a battery that's like as big as a car, or
Which you do have. I just saw some.
yeah.
Well,
so, but it's real. At some point, we should have a way to recycle it or remanufacture it to a point where they can be used for something else. But there's something called economies of scale, and then we in Hawaii produce way too little bit to have an industry where they could actually make something out of the
Yeah,
lithium
that
battery.
makes sense. Yeah.
And so we'd have to be subsidized by somebody.
Yeah.
There are programs where all the manufacturers are supposed to be putting into a big fund,
Yeah.
a way for us to get rid of them. I mean, so they're responsible all the way to the grave
right.
for
Yeah.
all their goods. But I'm not sure it's really working well, because I'm sure there are stockpiles here.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yes.
makes sense. And I'm sure it's not
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lucrative business to get into with like such high risk, so you have to be
Yeah.
subsidized by some kind of
You think the
government program.
state would step in for something like that?
You think they would, but,
Yeah.
but let me tell you what I have to do here. If I have, like even a cell phone battery, if it's puffed up, I have to put them in a little plastic bag, and then I have to seal the plastic bag so no air can get in it. And then I have to put them in a barrel, and then I have to put fire retardant in between so that there's nothing, so there's no plastic touching each other. And that has to be done for each battery.
Oh,
and
really?
so you have a whole barrel full of batteries that weigh practically nothing, because it's mostly fluff of all the fire retardant in the plastic bags. And so the point I'm getting at is, even for me with the quantity I do, I have to spend maybe like $10,000 a month just to get rid of spent batteries.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a
And
lot of
because-
volume that
Yeah.
packaging
because I have
requires
to,
too, right?
but for me to get it on a somebody even who wants to carry it, I have to have it this protected.
yeah.
Mhm.
But can you
wow.
imagine if we had to do that to every battery leaving the island?
Yeah.
Right.
We're talking about
God,
$100 a pound to get rid of it.
Holy shit.
I mean, people will not want to pay that much, for one thing. So what's going to happen? It's going to end up being in places we don't want them to be, either stockpiled or worse yet, on the ground, or
Yeah.
that's rubbish.
So my question is, do you do like iPhone battery repairs too?
We don't do any repairs.
But do you sell iPhone batteries?
We do, but we make somebody else repair them.
Like, could
Yeah.
you do it by yourself?
We could, but the problem is we get fat fingers, and so I think we've broken more and lost more money trying to
Yeah.
repair them
Oh, yeah, that's,
than
that's true.
That's funny.
But I heard it's easy though.
maybe for you, as you get older, it gets harder. Let me tell you.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
So
I
have you
didn't know
ever-
how big of a problem the lithium-ion battery
Yeah,
is.
I
It
didn't
makes
think it
sense
was-
even
though.
for us, like insurance companies will not touch us with a
Yeah.
10-foot pole if we ever have like lithium-ion or anything like that.
That's crazy.
If we do have lithium-ion, like we cannot accept any returns or anything like that.
Yeah.
They have to be like 30% or less, otherwise they pose a risk.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of insane. Like I don't know what
Yeah.
they're gonna do about it.
Well, what do we do about these? I don't know, like electric cars and stuff.
I'm not even going to go there. We'll-
Like it's just making me
that-
kind of
that-
spiral
it-
out.
it is just that is just
So
way
you're telling
too
me
big
you,
numbers.
you sell like Tesla batteries and stuff?
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I sell batteries that are basically, maybe this is about the biggest as it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I take that back. And maybe a little big because I sell car battery size lithium
Yeah.
batteries.
Yeah, you do the refurbished car batteries too, right?
Right, but they're
Yeah.
lead acid batteries. You know,
Mm.
lead,
Yeah.
The lead acid batteries are super safe.
Yeah.
I mean, the fire department.
No, I
comes
bought
in
a battery from you before.
Yeah,
Fire
I've done
department-
too.
I was like, whoa, this is way cheaper.
Fire department comes in and they see lead acid batteries and they don't even think about it.
Yeah.
When you show them one little lithium battery and they'll be very
Mhm.
concerned.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, the
really?
fire department doesn't even know what to do with it. Like we've asked them for consultations. Like we don't know. It's just,
Whoa.
You're kind of SOL.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
That's like going in an area that I don't think I want to be
Oh,
in.
sorry. Okay, yeah.
I don't know the answer
You
to
didn't
that.
hear that from me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, but you sell like car batteries, like for
Oh, yeah.
BMWs.
We do, yeah, but we won't work on the BMWs either. You know, it's funny. You know, the European cars, the BMWs, the Mercedes, they put so many safeguards in them. Every
Mhm.
time we touch one of them, we have to send it back to the dealer, and because it's not working right,
Mm.
and so we won't touch them because again, every time we touch them, we lose like $400 or $500.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I hate that. That sucks.
Do you think battery will save like climate change and stuff?
Well, okay, explain what you just meant by that.
I thought that prior to this
Yeah.
podcast. I'm like, oh man.
Maybe. With you were doing a lot of those climate change promotions. I thought it was interesting.
Climate change promotions. Explain what that is. I'm
Like on your
I'm lost.
Instagram, you were trying to do clean energy stuff,
We're doing recycling.
recycling,
Like renewable energy?
renewable energy.
Yeah, and we're just coordinating it. If you talk about it, you know, we call it we call Go Greener, Go
Mhm.
Greener, which is
Mhm.
electronic waste recycling. But we work with a company called Eopala, and Eopala does all the work. All
Wow.
we're doing is basically promoting it, and in a lot of ways it's good because it's going to end up being safe. I mean, all the electronic waste will go to a safe place at the end.
Right.
We're not handling it, but Eopala is, and what it actually does is it reduces like waste in the household. So when you talk about
Okay.
fires, if you have less of it in the house, and there's less chance of having like a big fire. So it's good. It's like it's helping get rid of rubbish basically.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Nice.
So do you see lithium-ion kind of being around for a while, or do you think it's going to be replaced by like hydrogen power or some other alternative? Like I know they're working on cars that are hydrogen powered.
I think the lithium batteries we know it can't stay here forever
Mm-hmm.
because we talk about stockpiling and being a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think there's going to have to be at some point some technology comes in that's going to be really safe.
Okay.
Like hydrogen or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'd be ready to pivot by then? Just to kind
It's
of.
going to be slow. I
Yeah.
mean, I probably won't be here when all that happens and
Yeah.
it gets
Okay.
big, because you're going to see it coming because all the manufacturing has to change
Mm-hmm.
to be able to make it, and
Yeah,
now
all the
that everything has got to
infrastructure,
fit it.
Was it like
Yeah.
that with electric stuff, like electric cars and whatnot? Because you probably saw that coming, right?
Yeah, we see it coming, and
Yeah.
we saw it coming, and but it seems to me that there's a change too. It seems to be losing its luster,
Mm.
and of course, a lot of the people aren't going pure electric; they're going to at least maybe a hybrid, right?
Hybrid, yeah.
And so because it's more reliable and it's more reliable. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're in a pure electric car, if you're run out of electricity, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
stuck.
And it's not like you can go to the nearest gas station.
Yeah.
With a hybrid, at least you have a little engine that can get you someplace, right?
Right,
Yeah.
It makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're very heavy too, so they're contributing to kind of like the potholes and stuff and erosion. Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wear and tear on the roads. Our roads seem to our roads seem to not last as long as you'd like them to last.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
So if you had,
Yeah,
if you had more, as a whole new story. But if you had more weight to it, then there's more wear and tear.
Yeah.
So they're going to last even shorter.
I'm curious where our tax dollars go to.
Yeah, I wonder where it comes.
It's like the same potholes for my whole life. It just it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, basically Jet is a friend from that. So every time I met him, so we were like high school, but we've been like partying and stuff. And then his mom runs that Philium Courier.
Right.
And then they told me to ask a question. So I was gonna.
What's your question?
Yeah.
No,
what do you got?
Okay, so she asked me how what do you know about Filipino community?
What do I can?
Of what do you know? About
That was
so-
interesting.
No, that's directed at me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's directed at you, I suppose.
well, I'm not answering it.
Saying, I know nothing.
So I've noticed though that even though there are a lot of Filipinos in Hawaii, that I really am not involved in their community or know very little about them. The only thing I know that to me is that every Filipino worker that I've ever had has been really, really good workers
Yeah.
in comparison to some other people. And so I did, see Mary, who you're
Yeah.
referring to. And I asked myself that same question. And so I told her, she's the editor of the Philam magazine.
Yeah, this
And
one.
so I thought she would be a good person to do a little episode. So I told her that, can you teach me about the Filipino community so I can know a little bit about it? And she a couple weeks ago she invited me to a Lady in Red Ball. That was the first time that I
And
ever
then I met him
went
there.
to. And
I've
that's
heard
where I
about
met
those.
you.
Yeah, I met
That's
him
where I
there.
met you there.
Yeah.
And so she's it's baby steps, but she's introducing me to the community, and I'm kind of excited about it. I guess I just want to know the Filipino culture, and I'm not trying to be racist. It's just they represent such a big people here in Hawaii,
Yeah.
and I know nothing about them. If I look at I look at my phone book, and there are all Japanese and Chinese names, and a few Caucasian names, but
Yeah.
I don't have any Filipino friends.
Oh, really?
So I gotta get some. I gotta get some. I guess.
Well, he has a Filipino girlfriend.
Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
the best way to get involved with the Filipino community.
But I would be in huge trouble if I got a Filipino girlfriend.
Really?
Yeah, because you try to be married and have a Filipino girlfriend.
That's true.
I'm sure the Filipino girlfriend would be okay with it.
Yeah.
So what ethnicity is the worst workers for you? I'm just kidding.
Oh my God!
Don't answer.
We are not even.
I actually need an answer to that.
But it's so funny. I can throw that back at you because you're an employer also, and
Yeah.
I think you know some of the
Well,
tendencies.
I've heard him say his
Yeah,
answer.
My entire workforce is Filipino, so I didn't mean for that to happen. It just happened.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought it was Chinese.
No, I have no Chinese. I'm the only one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how you know it's authentic, though, if it's a Chinese guy
Yeah.
running it.
I know. Yeah.
Are you Japanese American?
I am Japanese American. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
This guy is too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many generation?
I'm supposed to be third generation.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, you've been here for a while. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been here.
Oh, wow.
So you were born and raised here?
I was born and raised here. English is the only language I know.
Really?
What high school did you go to?
well,
I went to Roosevelt High School.
Ooh,
Roosevelt.
that's a rival school.
Rival to who?
Kalani, right?
Kalani High School.
That's
You
where.
know, so I went to school. I think when I went to school, we had a really lousy football team.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think in 3 years we only won one game. I think
That was
I think
like when we went to
it was against Kalani.
I don't think we won a game like the whole high school.
I mean, you might be right.
Yeah.
I was not involved with that at all.
But do you want to know something funny?
What do we want to know?
No, my Chinese ex was like a Roosevelt graduate.
Okay,
What's funny about
I
that?
don't know.
I'm gonna laugh.
We were just talking about it.
Like, can you explain what's funny about
I
that?
don't know. We were just talking about like Chinese community in Philip. I thought it was interesting.
Okay,
I just think there's more Asian community at Roosevelt. And I thought
I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Half of the
That's
time,
what I
no.
think.
no.
I think you're just saying stuff.
No,
to, like,
I do
have an
say
opinion.
random things, pretty much. Yeah.
But I hear you're very intelligent. Is that something that somebody told me?
First of all,
Who
someone
said that?
lied to you. Someone lied to you.
Who said that?
Bill, someone's playing a joke on you.
Wait, who said that?
I can't remember, but I heard it recently.
Oh, you can't wink, wink. Someone said.
What was it at that event?
If I can't remember, I can't remember.
Really?
So
Yeah.
we asked Will the other day. So my girlfriend was like, "Will, like, what's your thing?" You know, she's like, "I have good like memory. Like, she's good with puzzle games." She's like, "Chris is kind of like all around. Like, what's your thing?" And Will's like, "Well, I have a really high IQ." I'm like, "What's your IQ?" He's like, "Oh, I don't know." I'm like, "Then why did you say you have a high IQ?" Like, I don't. He's like, "Oh, sorry." Just totally caught in it.
I know. I shouldn't have said that. I don't know why I said it.
What was back in your high school days?
Uh-huh.
What was your like thing? Like, were you a jock? Were you like a surfer?
Okay, so when I was in high school, I was involved a little bit in sports.
Okay.
I was a runner, so I think I was involved in track mostly. I did things like high jump, long jump.
Oh, nice.
We called it back then a 440 or an 880, which is
Yeah.
a quarter mile and half a mile. So those are my events. I was never the best, but at least I got to qualify and go to the States and get beat up at the States meet. But we did, back in our day, we had something interesting. They were called social clubs. And the social clubs were where we had socials. In other words, every week you would invite girl clubs. And then we'd have, so we call them socials, but they're basically dances. Or we'd have moonlight picnics. And this is moonlight picnics were at Ala Moana Beach Park. And they would never have those now.
Yeah,
But it would just be another club calling another club to have a party on the beach.
That's it.
And that's how
We've lost our way as a country.
So is that where you like meet like cute girlfriends and stuff?
No, that's where we met my wife, actually.
Whoa!
Oh, really?
Right.
Whoa!
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, in high school, that's what we did. And so, yeah, but it was really boring. I was one of those underachievers. You know, they used to have these standardized tests, and I used to always really score really well in them. But when I look at my report card, it was not the same. It was a different story. I think something about attitude. I think I don't think I had the right attitude to be a really good student. I just loved to play.
Yeah, that was like that guy too.
I also had bad test scores. I don't know what you're talking about. I had bad grades and bad test scores.
I had terrible score, but now I'm in UH Manoa, so it doesn't matter.
Wait, you're in UH now?
Yeah,
How old are you?
22. I'm
Are you
almost gonna
serious?
graduate. I'm almost gonna graduate.
Oh my god, I didn't know you were that young.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I really didn't.
That's funny.
See, you act older. It's because you have a high IQ.
I don't. Wait, let's see. What else did Jet's mom asked?
Oh, he has a whole list of questions.
Here.
Can you tell us about entrepreneur's journey and what inspired you to start your business? We
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, without even
How was
being
your
prompted.
upbringing influenced your approach to business?
Oh yeah. What was your family life like?
Yeah.
And how did that,
Okay, so my dad taught me two things that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he taught me that one, you should always take care of your employees. So in other words, if you have a business, like for example my business, and if sales are down, you no matter what you do, you have to try to build the business up so that you can take care of the employees. So that's one thing he totally believed in. And the other one he told me was, you have to go into business, because if you don't go into business, then you're never going to make any money. And I told you what I thought about being in business. It's a hard thing.
Yeah.
And it kind of sucks. The easy road really is to work for somebody else. So I'm telling you what he taught me, and I'm not telling you, and I followed it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not still sure at my age of 70 years old if that was the right path to follow by listening to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially now, the atmosphere is a little different with businesses because they, like with a lot of brick and mortar and stuff, I see them closing left and right. And for us, like we had a lot of trouble as well. I think like for 2 years, it was, we had a lot of trouble like just kind of making the business work and whatnot. So I know what you mean. Like, and plus costs, like labor costs and all that stuff is so high that
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
there's
we've
no
seen the
guarantee.
labor go up almost 50% in the last 2
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
But hey, you're still keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
You know, they're flickering a little.
Do you think Target or like Walmart? Do you think they're like your competitors?
Oh, are you kidding me? They're killers.
They
They're
are?
Not, they're not competitors. They're killers.
Yeah.
When the first Costco came in, I had the mistake of not underestimating them really, because I remember because I was trying to keep them out of the market, I started advertising for the first time, and then I threw in a good amount of money that I thought it was,
Yeah.
and it was really good from the beginning because I started my program before Costco opened,
Yeah.
and so all of a sudden we had a blip, like 20 or 30% growth, and I thought this is fabulous. But as soon as they opened up, they're category killers, and they just like a vacuum cleaner sucked all my business. So I lost like 50% of my business to the first Costco. I mean, that was before Walmart, Kmart,
Yeah.
and Sam's Club, and everything else is here.
Yeah.
And it's so yeah. It was because of them that I had to diversify and change, and basically go wherever they weren't. But now there are so many businesses that are there. There are very little spaces to be where they're not.
Right.
And the funny part about it is Costco was the killer for me, and they were the actual big box store back then. But now when I look at a Costco and you compare them against Amazon, Costco is now like the mom and pop store compared
That's
to an Amazon.
crazy.
And so now what are we, the brick and mortar and the mom and pop stores? We're like barely a molecule even existing in this world.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Man, but that song, that Battery Bill song.
Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. If it wasn't
Yeah.
for, Audie Kimura and Melka Bang, maybe we wouldn't be in business. So maybe that's another thing. If you have a business, you got to have a jingle.
Yeah.
You have a jingle.
Yeah, but
That's what we're missing.
but also be more comedic, I think.
I don't think it matters as long as it's something that you can relate to.
Yeah.
As far as the mascot goes, you have a, you have your Bang, right? Or your Bing, your Bang.
You're Bing. You're Bing.
Either
Not
one works.
Bing. Either works, yeah. But if you look it up, it's like completely different things. I prefer not looking it up. But
Oh my God.
if you do, but go at your own risk. That's all I could say.
Hey,
Yeah, just make sure
I,
you're 18
I,
and
I
over.
like your food, Belden.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I did. It was
Thanks.
good.
This table reminds me of your food.
I know.
I mean,
Oh, the
doesn't
skillet,
it?
yeah.
Doesn't it?
Oh yeah, the grill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Belden was like, spatula all over the place. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it wasn't always like that. It took a while to get there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Bill's been nice enough to power us on more than one occasion, and we've had a lot of rough goings with it because I did not know anything about power or electricity starting it. So I think when we first started our first day at the Tea Presso Salt Lake, we short circuited that entire place.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they were nice enough to be okay with it, like Stanley and Steve over there. But yeah, that was only the first time we did that. We did that like at another farmers market in Haleiwa. Like a lot of pop-ups, we just short-circuited because I was just plugging in, hoping for the best. And yeah, now I know so Bill is able to power all 120 volts of our skillet. So that's quite a feat, especially with portable energy too.
Yeah.
For like 4 hours of the event.
So here's the deal. Okay, we can bring portable power to Bing Brothers.
Yeah.
But what Bing Bros? I'm sorry.
No, it's
Bing
okay.
Bros.
It's an
Whatever
abbreviation.
works, I
So
guess.
Bing Bros. So, but to power them for a whole day with 2 skillets going, we have to bring like $50,000 worth of
Yeah.
equipment
Yeah.
just to make
That's
for them to make
One crate.
$10,000.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Economies of scale, right?
Right.
It's a tough-
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you do like battery rentals?
We do. But
Oh, do you?
We do. But it's hard. Okay, we're competing against generators.
Yeah.
So generators, for example, for Bing Bros, what they need, they would pay maybe $100 a day for a generator. If I say that I need $50,000 worth of things to power them for a day, I'd have to theoretically rent it out for $5,000 a day, and so that's way different. So I can't really, it's not feasible to do, not unless it's someplace that has to be. Because it's maybe inside of a house or whatever, a building, and they don't allow any generators anywhere around because of the fumes or the noise. So right now it's not feasible to do the rental, but I do rental once in a while. Like for example, I have a job coming up. these people are coming in from the mainland to show something on military base,
Mhm.
and so they to demo the equipment they need power.
Would that be like a commercial or like a advertisement for you, or do they pay you to do that? Or
No, we make a little bit of money on it.
Okay,
but we charge way less than we need to.
Yeah.
So it's really still not worth it because the
Yeah.
wear and tear on the equipment is more than the money that we make
Yeah,
every time
yeah.
it goes out.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because
So- Yeah, it's more like a promotional thing to show like
yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say if you do like for film productions, like do you like rent out batteries?
Say that one more time.
Like for film productions, like do you think like borrowing batteries is possible?
Phone
The
production.
Yeah, film production.
Film is not bad. I mean, as long as if it's not the super big lights.
Yeah.
Okay, big power. Heat and super big lights take a lot of power. But
Mhm.
for basically sound equipment and what we're doing right now, it's very easy because
Mhm.
this doesn't take any power at all.
Oh no, not at all.
No.
One V mount battery. That's all I need.
Or our one solar generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a perfect world.
Yeah. Okay, so I was like, how much would that cost to rent it out?
You haggling on the podcast.
No, because I
What
want to
is
know.
this?
No, so to do what we're doing here, it would basically $100 would cover it.
Mhm.
And so that would be feasible because it's a small event, it doesn't take a
Mhm.
lot of power. The equipment that is required to run this is less than $1,000. So if
Yeah.
you take 1/10 of that, it's $100. So that's workable. But most people, if they're going to do anything like what Belden's talking about, they want to maybe cook something,
Mhm.
and then that's a whole different thing.
Okay. Wow. That's kind of expensive still, really.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. That's why I said it's not feasible.
Yeah.
Even more so, I appreciate the favors you do for us.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know. I was impressed when you were like, "Yeah, it's all connected to batteries." I'm like, "Whoa."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Also, yeah, like especially my area, Hawaii Kai, there's a lot of power outage.
My favorite customers are from Hawaii Kai because they experience
money.
more power outages. Than
Yeah, we
everybody
do. We
else.
do.
We
Yeah.
do it like almost every like months or so. There's like a power outage. It's crazy.
Yeah. People are worried about the refrigerators. That's the main. That's one of the
yeah.
main things. So they want to make sure the food doesn't go bad. So they have to. They like to make sure if they will run. That's.
Oh, yeah, I
And-
think-
and-
A couple months ago, there was a power outage in all of Chinatown that lasted a couple of days. So we were frantically looking for fridge space to keep our food so it wouldn't
Yeah.
go bad. That was frustrating.
Yeah.
What was your solution to that? Just
I
Take it all home.
have a chest freezer at home,
yeah.
like a giant
Makes
chest
sense.
freezer. So I just put them all in there, and then as soon as the coast was clear, I put them all back.
Yeah.
Other businesses weren't so lucky. They lost like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff that they had to hand prep themselves. So that's a lot of labor.
I would
hours,
imagine the
too.
restaurants. Yeah. Right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
All those Chinese.
So they were lucky. It happened only in Chinatown, so they could go somewhere else to store stuff. But if it was like an island-wide thing,
Yeah.
like a hurricane or something,
Oh,
then you'd be
yeah.
really stuck.
Yeah, exactly. We'd starve.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's proven. You get a major catastrophe here, nowhere are they going to be able to bring the ships in.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
I mean, we may not even have ports, right? We may not even have airports. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's a statistic that Hawaii consumes 98% of the goods that 98% of the goods we consumed are shipped in.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So the question would be, if we had a major problem, how do you and I probably heard the number somewhere, but how many days can we survive if we have major catastrophe, we're not allowed to bring anything in?
I heard
2 weeks, right?
4 days when
Oh.
I was a kid. When I was a kid.
I
though.
don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a couple weeks, I think. I
Yeah.
heard it was like a couple
Couple
weeks.
weeks sounds right.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense.
So yeah, no, in those 2 weeks, I'm leaving.
Where are you gonna go?
Yeah, where are you gonna-
You don't have no airport.
We're going to Big Island. We're hunting.
You're gonna have to swim to get there.
Yeah. Take a canoe.
I have
And
to
not only
learn how to
that,
fish, I
how are you
guess.
gonna get the fuel to get there?
Mad Max. We're siphoning it from cars.
So then we're
Spray paint and
gonna.
everything.
Yeah.
No, so that's true. Okay, so if there ever is a situation like that, I know that for me, because I have power here, I'm gonna be one of the people looted right off the get go.
Oh, 100%.
I won't be in business.
Oh, well, now I know what's in here. So
So you have a backup generator and everything going on?
My backup generator is my batteries, but if we have a major problem, I won't even have access to it.
Oh, real?
Yeah, because we're gonna go back to basics. Everybody's gonna have to protect what's important to them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
sure.
the parents gonna protect their kids or do whatever they need to do to survive.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be like you see on the movies.
Hmm.
Mad Max.
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Yep. Oh, wait, what was that? What's the funny like customer story that used your battery product?
Funniest story? Wow. Okay, I know one that kind of irritated me. So I have a customer that bought a battery from me, and this is a car battery, and on our batteries we had these caps on them, red and black, and that's to protect the battery from shorting out in case somebody puts a piece of metal over it when they're transporting it, maybe for home. So I bought this, so that I sold this battery, and the customer took it home, and then he calls me up and he starts. You know how people are when they're irate. They're not the friendliest people, and they don't say everything really, really nicely, and they use these words, right? And they swear at you, obviously.
Yeah.
So he was that way. So he made me drive all the way to his house in Hawaii car.
Oh, really? Of course,
And-
it's
and-
in Hawaii Kai.
Shout out Hawaii Kai.
There's a lot of interesting people in Hawaii Kai.
So I get to his house and I look at. He opens up his hood and sees this is the monster that's a piece of shit. So I look at it and he's got those little plastic caps on his batteries still yet, which are of course you take them off and you put your regular terminals on and you're ready to go. That would
Call 'em up by
that'd
name,
be one
take
of
the
my
chance.
worst stories.
Do people ever do the jingle to you?
Oh, yeah.
All the time?
All the time.
We made a battery will jingle.
You made one. Are
Yeah.
we going to hear it?
Do you want to?
I don't know. You brought
I have it on my
You
phone.
brought it up. I mean, it must be something that somebody's proud of.
Well, so it's not.
Speaker?
Well, it's not like batteries like
Let me go
like
bring my speaker.
it's like battery like the crime, right?
Okay, well,
So-
it doesn't matter.
What are you doing? Get back
So
here.
when you look for my name, Battery Bill, there's tons of things that come up that are laws.
Get over here. Get back in the shot.
We lost one
So-
fourth of the panel here.
So this is called Battery Will, and it's about
I never
him
knew
committing
about this.
violent crimes.
Wait, what?
He never heard this.
Why did you even make
Battery
I'm glad
will.
to see there.
Battery will.
Wait,
He's
this.
coming in your house. He is unannounced. He has a weapon. He's gonna hit you. He's gonna kill you. He's gonna kill you with his weapons. Got an itch for violence.
Battery will. Battery will.
Get on the ground right now! Put your face on the ground! You're going to jail for a really long time for what you did to her. Did you hear me? Huh? You hear me, you filthy criminal? Get the fuck
Battery will. Battery will.
So that's the Battery Will song.
So I have a question. Is that about Will?
That's about Will.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, who made that? Wait, tell me who made that, and you guys did it behind my back. That's crazy.
So we have Battery Bill and battery like the crime. Will.
No, but who did it? Haas? Who made
No,
that?
don't worry about who made it.
No, 'cause-
Look, when I said you were gonna be on the podcast, everyone's like Battery Bill. It's iconic.
I like it. As long as it's not about me.
It's Battery Will.
I understand that.
oh yeah,
Now I love it.
because it rhymes to my name. Oh, it does rhyme.
You're right.
It
You're
does.
putting it together, yeah.
Yeah.
You're high IQ.
Oh my god, that was so
Did
funny.
we cleared a nice little 50 minutes. I think we could wrap it up.
Yeah.
That was I wanted to end with the song.
I didn't mention that I don't know them, by the way.
That was so funny.
I was like hesitant on doing this song, but
No, it fit right in. I think
Thank
it
you.
was right on.
okay. I was like, let's see how cool he is.
Yeah, let's see how cool you are.
It's all
Hey, you
about Will.
Hey, you passed the test. Though.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could wrap that up.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right.
Thanks for
Battery
tuning-
Bill,
Battery Bill.
not Battery Will.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely people that live on island. It's just